love when people are like have passion for the city, but
Oh my God, Richie!
What the hell happened?
Esto es Otra, por favor. This is one more, please.
So I like
indie.
yeah. I go everywhere, and then I like Hans whatever
Hans Zimmerman?
Yep, Homeboy. Like I play that shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I get like real deep into my emotions.
I like everything pretty much except for country.
I
Country,
like
no
country.
Why not country, Richie?
I don't know, man. It's just something about it that
Feels a little MAGA.
yeah.
See,
That's why. Yeah. I used to like it, but then it started getting too MAGA. But I'm choosing any. I don't choose any sides now.
I think
so
there's a lot of
I'm a partisan.
there's a lot of similarities in country music and like regional like norteñas or
yeah. Oh,
there's
yeah.
a lot. They sing a lot about a lot of the same things. If you
Well, Monterrey
lyrics.
is basically super conservative. So,
yeah,
but how y'all doing today?
I'm
I'm
doing
great.
fantastic, man.
Okay, you let me know this time when we're recording.
We're recording now.
Okay.
We started recording as we were talking about music. You know,
Nah,
for them,
nah,
for them
okay.
to let us know more about who we like.
A
you know.
recording doesn't start until you pop that can.
Yep.
Okay, pop the can.
Pop the can. So
Where's
we're
the-
What do we
not-
where's
what,
the
what do we
can
have
from?
here? What do
We have mysterious seltzer from Hop Squad, and I would say the only way you can find out the flavor if you are out there, you know, listening to this episode is if you actually go to Hop Squad this Sunday and celebrate their 3rd birthday.
Happy
So,
birthday!
Happy birthday, Hop Squad!
We'll be
Thank you
there.
for this. What I'm sure is delicious beer.
It's a seltzer, bro.
Oh, seltzer, my bad.
Yeah.
Seltzer.
Perdón.
Pero, you know,
Lo que significa que no tiene calorías, ¿no?
ándale.
Ah,
Pensando en la raza, eh.
it's watered down.
What are you trying to say, Hop Squad?
Nah, they actually I've been wanting a seltzer because it's been one of those weekends that actually feels good and not too hot and not too cold.
Look at my sunburn, though.
Here we go. We get work done outside. I was, you know, we working in the garden with my wife on Sunday, and you were also doing some yard work.
I sure was. I was having my Selena moment. I was like, I want chickens, I want pigs, and you know how she in that one scene where she's cutting her yard. That's how I felt. I was like, and I had my little hat on. I was like,
So
Selena.
el requisito para que seas parte de Otra, por favor, is you gotta have chickens because Koke has chickens. I have chickens.
Stop it. You
I
do?
have 3 beautiful hens.
Yeah.
Charlie, Frankie, and Loretta.
And so do you eat their eggs?
They just started laying again. We had been some time without them laying, and we were kind of worried, and we thought maybe they were old, but we changed their diet a little bit. And yeah, they started laying. They just laid 3 eggs the other day, so I'll probably tear into them this weekend. Yeah.
Like a real Mexican.
It was crazy. Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that del rancho.
Oh yeah,
That's what my aunt, you know, she did. She's like, "You're hungry? You want?" When I was in Mexico,
Yeah.
she's like, "Get his huevos." So I was like, "Sure." And
Oh,
she just
it's-
like got
it's-
him, and I was like, "Wow."
It's nothing like fresh eggs.
I was like, "That's so
It's nothing
organic."
like fresh eggs. Yeah,
As organic as it gets.
for sure.
You know what? I mean, that's one thing about chickens is they like to make a mess. They like to be outside, but they will come through with eggs when they can. Like I'm talking about, they will come through like 4 a day, 4 times. You know, like you can get 20 in a week, basically.
Yeah.
But the protein, bro, you don't need more whey. You know, ISO, you know, whey or whatever.
And they're just beautiful creatures, man. To me, I think of them like little dinosaurs just
Yeah.
running around. You can just look at chickens and be entertained for the entire day. Like,
True.
chilling on the hammock.
Wow.
But let's get into it, man.
Yeah,
All right,
man.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
To the
Oh.
new
To
recording.
everything.
Salud, salud.
Salud, salud.
Hey, this is actually episode 75.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the
Wow.
number.
So-
Episode 75.
Ya está, ya pasó el tostón. You know, we're getting close to the 100. I might get a tattoo, otra por favor. I might not if we get 100. So
You will only get a tattoo.
If it's free.
If it's free.
If it's free, no. And if Driussi or Diego Fagundez get a tattoo
Of Otra, por favor, or
of just, they
anything.
said they would get a tattoo of Austin FC.
Those guys tattoo it like every day.
Yeah,
I think they sneeze and get a tattoo when they sneeze.
But they should get one of Otra, por favor.
They should get one of Otra, por favor. I know Diego
Ándale.
has Richie right here.
Ah.
Oh, speaking of Diego, so yesterday was Monday here in Austin, and it's funny, and Bocha just, he was, what? Before the season starts, let me stir up the pot. Let me get everyone going.
He said, let me start the MLS season right.
Yeah,
Vendió una noticia. Así
basically.
es como se hace.
Y hace cuenta que, but it was like, he didn't say nothing specific. He just said, como familia, vamos a dar un anuncio.
Right.
It was a tweet. Everybody started losing their shit. I was like, Diego, don't break my heart. But apparently it was like something good. Then they were doing pictures as when everybody was in Twitter at 7 o'clock, como una buena iglesia que somos in the Austin community. And the announcement was that Diego was having a girl.
It was a
partner.
gender reveal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gender reveal.
Wow. Congratulations, Diego.
Congrats,
And
Diego.
the Fagundez family.
And the Fagundez, la
So-
familia Fagundez amplia. Se
There we
amplia.
go. Se amplía, and si se amplía, necesitan billetes. Es de que Austin FC, Precourt, ponte las pilas, mi chavo.
They need more money for the kiddies.
For the kiddies,
and
The
dogs. The
dogs.
dogs. I think they have
the
5 or
dogs, yeah.
something. I don't know. But
Excellent,
yeah,
excellent
congrats.
media move by Bocha though to incite such
That's how you-
excitement.
And you know what? It wasn't like a troll, but it was actually like let's get it going. But I don't think he even meant it to troll people.
No.
But he was just one more so like, I really want to share it, but I
Right.
can't share it. So not into that's going
Right.
on.
He's a grandpa. He's
You
excited.
have to.
course.
So and for me is like I don't I don't want to have kids, but like sharing like in news of a kid is actually a lot more important than a contract.
Right.
So this is like a pretty cool
Yeah.
thing to have a little pump up before the season starts.
For sure.
Yeah, and with that, we're also gonna start a new season pretty soon this Saturday.
For sure.
Man, I can't believe it came out that quick, man. But I'm ready. I'm ready.
Empezó.
The city feels ready.
Yeah.
I'm looking outside, and football is coming back to the city of Austin,
Yeah,
dude. And I'm super excited. I don't know how you guys feel.
Season 3. I feel a little weird. I'm usually, because I'm not working with Telemundo no longer. I feel a little like involved, but not too involved.
It's
So
tough, kind of navigating those steps in a different environment,
right,
a
and I'm
personal
still
environment.
and I'm still trying to do like my own thing on the side as a freelancer, but it's not the same. However, that being said, not to bring down the mood, I'm super excited. I mean, it's going to be a long year for Austin FC. A whole year because they're gonna participate in 3 other major tournaments this season. But I think we got spoiled with home opener last season and now home opener this season, and so I'm excited versus St. Louis.
And we get 2 back-to-back. First game against St. Louis, and then we also play on March 4th. I forgot the rival, but another home game. So. And then on the 16th, we're going to be playing Houston away.
Ooh,
So,
March 16th.
Si quieren trancazos, ahí están.
Bro.
So,
Put
I
that
mean,
on-
literally, not metaphorically, not
Put that-
literally,
put that on your
metaphorically.
calendar, man. Let's
Yeah.
go.
I was gonna say Houston's kind of intense, huh? They really don't like Austin.
Yeah, I mean, it's, but I think Houston takes it as like the new, el primo que se cree. Llegó de México, de Estados Unidos, se cree.
Sí.
That's how they view it. And with that is, I want to ask you guys just the lineups that we see. Who do you guys think is gonna start this game in particular?
Okay. Well, 7:30 p.m. at Q2. I just hear the crowd, they're going crazy like usual. I start, you start seeing players come out. In my lineup, I think it's the typical lineup. Obviously, Stuber, defense. I'm between Kolmanich, Cascante, Leo, and Lima.
Okay.
I don't know.
Messi?
Maybe I think Gallagher in there. Instead of Komanich.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm still debating. I think Pereira, Ring. I don't think Little Wolf is going to start. And obviously Driussi, Fagundez, Rigoni, and Sardes on top. Urruti as a sub. He comes in. He'll get minutes. Maybe even Wolf will get minutes. I just think, just like Austin FC, it's a new team in the MLS, and they're also going to see how they manage, how they flow together, if there's chemistry, in St. Louis side. So I think obviously Wolf is going to go with and score as many goals as they can as a club. Hopefully we have a repeat from last season's 5-0 over since.
Yeah, we started with fire last season.
And then 5 against
And then
Inter.
against Inter. So I think, if I was Wolf, I would start off with that lineup because you want to get the crowd riled up. Yeah. You want a lot of goals. You got great players over the off season. We were scared that they weren't going to bring enough defensive defenders.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, 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 I can't talk. So that's my lineup. That I think this is me.
I like that lineup a lot.
Yeah.
The only kind of questionable part in my mind is Kolmanich. But we'll see. Maybe he had a fantastic offseason and he's ready to hit the ground running. Because of its being the first game of the season, we might it's not out of the realm of possibilities for there to be a surprise in the lineup. I think St. Louis is a team that I've never seen. I don't think any of us have seen or studied
the first game.
So maybe Wolf sees something differently.
Yeah.
He's very strategic and how he lines up his team and wants to set something up. So we might see something different. And I think if you have the expectations from the beginning of the season of last year where we dominated those first games, scoring 5 or 4 goals in each game, we might have to just re-level our expectations, and that it's a high bar to meet. Tranquilos. So let's say we don't win 5-0, all of a sudden it's a disappointment.
Nah,
I don't think so.
For sure, it has to be a freaking disappointment. Come on, Wolf already spoiled us as it is. We show MLS and all those MLS Raiders who we are. I'm just kidding.
I think I want for me as the starting lineup for this game, it's not gonna be the same starting lineup as we go in the season because you have 4 different tournaments.
The amount of tournaments and
so
games,
you need variables. You need
rotations,
rotations. You can't play with the same like starting 11 the whole year. So I did like how Owen was integrated in the starting lineup during the friendlies. That shows that Wolf is really, really, really not wanting to phase out Ring, but actually give him more responsibility. Like, hey, you seem like a player that is very like multifaceted, similar to Gallagher. So you can play in the wing, you can play in the middle. But I think like I agree with the lineup you just gave with Kolmanich on the left, Lima on the right, Cascante, Leo, Stuber. Ring is gonna start with Pereira, and then Driussi, Rigoni, Fagundez, and Sardes. Just because I think Sardes scored a couple of goals already, and that gives you confidence.
Rigoni did too.
And Rigoni, I got a feeling he's a little more relaxed. Have a breakout season, and that's good because now the one thing that we started seeing last season is the team actually taking a little more, like pulling their weight and not relying on Driussi so much compared to the first maybe half of the season where Driussi was coming through every game. You can see him, towards the end, it was kind of like not everything's supposed to be on him to change the dynamic of the game. So I want to see more of Rigoni taking, the role and Sardes taking the role because those 2 guys, I mean, they're already experienced, they're well known, and they're Driussi, but they can take like a little more weight off him and just come through and support him basically.
Yeah, I think Driussi still is going to be the goal scorer for the club, but I do think Rigoni is going to be up there. Sardes, I hope that it's a different story here with, along with Wolf, because he even himself, he was really excited, to rejoin Wolf, and he just likes the what he brings out of him as a player. And he likes he was saying he likes the chemistry. He likes how the team is flowing and how he's being integrated. So I'm excited to see him and Rigoni too. I mean, I think this is the season that Rigoni needs to step up, because if not, he will be getting criticized and kind of rightfully so. And just like Driussi was criticized in the beginning because he came mid-season or whatever, and then he had a complete season to finish with the club, and he almost got the golden boot.
This close, and this year, let's go get it through. I believe in you.
Yeah, I mean, with some of the new additions like Sardes coming in to an environment where like the team really gelled and meshed together, like with such good vibes. I mean, it's hard to come into that and not, feel at ease or, feel welcomed. So I'm actually excited to see him play. I hope he does have a productive season. We know what he's capable of. We've seen him score for other teams. He knows the MLS. So I think he's great, and I think it'd be great for him to start off the season with getting on the score sheet, because our forwards, that's what they feed off of, and some forwards can be very streaky. We saw it last season with Urruti. Like he had some moments where he was scoring some amazing goals, and some moments where he was cold as ice. So we just hope that not the entire weight of the offense falls on Driussi, and like I said, it balances each other out a little bit more with some of the other players.
Yeah, who I think is gonna have a really good season, and I feel like he's underrated, is Cascante, Julio Cascante. He, in my opinion, I think he was the most improved last season, and I just think that this season he's going to be even better. Obviously with Ruben leaving a little, it probably hurts him in a way in the way that he plays, but he always, or has in the past, had some headers, that turned out to be goals. Yeah. And so I just think he's a little bit underrated, but I'm excited to see what he brings on and how, the back line, the chemistry that happens, with them and him and Leo and even the other dude. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he came from Red Bulls. And he's a really big, tall guy.
Yeah. I'm Rick.
Malek. I don't know how to pronounce
his name. Marek or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that Julio Cascante is an incredible presence in the box. He's everything that you would want from a center defender to be used offensively during set pieces. But, where he struggled with the most was with playing the ball out of his feet. Making the right decisions under pressure.
Right.
Sometimes positionally he was out of line. Sometimes he was caught off with forwards with extremely high pace. Sometimes he was muscled out of the ball, which kind of sucks to see from a big guy. You never want to see your big center defender get muscled out of contention.
Right.
So there's a lot of good things and a lot of great potential with Julio Cascante, but I really hope he tuned up those areas of improvement.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know the strength and conditioning part leading to getting these guys in shape for the season, especially because Romagna, for example, coming in when they were saying like, hey, he's not in shape for what we really want him. It's not that he's not in shape in general, but it's just for what we want to do. He's not meeting the standards.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're really, really, really they've been working on the physical part and how much that is gonna play in the season. Because if you, I mean, for example, like you were saying, if you can get these players to actually understand like their potential physically, someone like Cascante, they can change a lot in things.
Right.
It helps on. I mean, when you're stronger, somehow you're more confident, especially as a defender, and you're not out muscled.
Mm-hmm.
But that's I really want to see how they do physically, more so not the speed part or the passing part. I already know they have it, but just keeping up and pressuring, high pressure.
Yeah,
dude, I'm sure the strength and conditioning at a facility like Austin FC, an organization like Austin FC is amazing. All that stuff is great, but none of that matters if you're not putting in the extra work,
Right.
like putting in the extra workouts or just following that nutritional key component part. Because you look at someone like Nick Lima take his shirt off, and that guy is jacked.
Yeah.
And Romagna, I never saw him take his shirt off, but you could just see on the field that he was a little bit slower than everybody else. And he was a big bone guy, but we had him for such a long time, and he was with us for such a long time, but we never saw that physical improvement. Yeah. And I don't know what that was due to. It's kind of a big question mark. What could have happened? What was lacking?
I don't know, but you know whose shape improved as the season went, even though they came a little later? Valencia. Even after his injury, he looked very good physically. Like you can see when someone actually does some work besides the training. From what Stuber, I spoke to him a bit on Sunday, and he was just telling me, some of the guys, they do pull-ups. You know, that shit gets your arms strong. So, but I mean, when you do pull-ups, you have to involve your whole body, not just that. So, getting to do pull-ups, that pretty much shows like that's a high intensity type of workout, and you gotta have strong core. You gotta have strong, stronger legs just to pull it. Like everybody thinks, oh, it's just the arms, but no, it takes a whole body.
It sure does.
So I'm looking forward to, at least I just want to see like how I'm excited to see that part. Like I'm excited to see what these good players followed and where they're gonna take it to, their potential more than anything.
Right.
All right, you guys have predictions for this weekend against St. Louis?
5-0.
5-0.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, 5-0.
Okay, maybe 6 if you want to really give me a treat.
Okay. Okay. If you're gonna give me a 6, who's gonna score?
Okay, bueno.
She's gonna bust out the hat tricks.
Hat trick with Driussi.
First hat trick. Oh, he's starting. Okay.
Fagundez has one, and Sardis has one. And then if you want to give me the 6, Rigoni. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
A ver qué.
I think it's gonna be 3-1. A header, Julio Cascante.
Oh.
I better not be around that area, man.
And then Zardes and Rigoni. I say Driussi assists man. He takes a back seat. We'll see.
Funny you say a header because he just had a head injury, so I don't know how
shit.
much.
No, you're right. I take that back. Thank you. Nah, Michelle.
Who had a
this is why we have Michelle. She keeps me.
She keeps us in check.
She keeps us in check. Like she's like, nah,
Journalism.
bro. Yeah, he had a big gash.
Yeah.
I think he got a hit by Stuber on a.
He got stepped on.
Stuber, what the heck, man?
I don't know. You were with him on Sunday. You should have asked.
Maybe he's gonna play. He's gonna play with the turban or the Peter Sheck headgear.
That would be cool.
I definitely don't see him scoring a header.
We'll see.
So, but 3-1. I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a 3-1, 3-0. Who's gonna be an assistant is gonna be Komenich because he wants to go back to the starting. Play as much as more than what he played last season and show us that 2021 version. But that's gonna be through like a low one of those like una diagonal, and then someone comes from behind. It'll be Driussi, so that's gonna be the first goal, and then Fagu is gonna score the second goal, and he's gonna get everyone routed up.
Yep.
And then the third goal, I would say Rigoni, he's gonna score, and he's pretty much gonna do that. We're here celebration.
Okay,
first game and we're here.
We're here.
Or, I mean, you can't forget La Flecha. Hopefully, if he comes in, Urruti can. En la flecha, yo.
La flecha. Hey, basically, he looks like a flecha. With all due respect.
Alto, pues sí. Alto y como una flecha with the hair. His hair is probably like me, ahorita toda greñuda. But anyways, we don't have to talk about that. But yeah, those are good predictions.
Saturday Night Lights, 7:30 p.m.
I'm so looking forward to it.
So exciting.
Where we meeting up?
Hop Squad, baby.
Hop
All right, let's go.
Squad,
Hop Squad.
Hop Squad, obviously.
Come on, y'all. You got to get it right. Hop Squad. Cheers.
So now speaking of where we meeting up and, like where the good teams, when the season's over, they're going to meet up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
God damn it. Like, who smoked the joint before they came up with something, or who did a mushroom? Because it feels like Liga MX.
Sí, como que está medio cabrón, ¿no? Hasta yo me
Muy
noté.
cabrón.
I was telling him, I was like, are we in the NBA?
Yeah, I feel like NBA, NFL, MLB,
MLB all mixed together.
They all
Best
got
of
together.
three.
They all got together and like, y'all know what y'all need? Y'all need a best of 3,
Yeah.
and no ties, and wild card. Y'all need a wild card game.
It's
A wild card in the playoffs.
So it's like a combination between NBA and NFL, right?
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
So
Michelle.
basically, 9 teams from each conference qualify.
Okay.
7 teams automatically for the round of 1, right?
Okay.
We're in playoffs, guys. Keep up. No, I'm just kidding. Which is now the best of 3 series, right?
Okay.
If they tie, they go straight to PKs. No extra time.
No extra time.
In what world does that happen? I don't know. Maybe it does
MLS.
happen.
In USA.
I don't get it. Okay. And then wild card. So it's number 8 and number 9.
Mm.
And then they, teams, whatever, and they go into single elimination to get in. Higher seeds host in games, the best of 3, whatever, lower seeds host second game, single elimination. The interesting rule in the wild card, as we said, no extra time, they go to penalties, and then you have the conference semis, conference finals, and then the MLS Cup is introduced. What else was I seeing on here that I thought was interesting? I mean, it's basically that.
The best of 3 series, going home, away, home
Right.
for the stronger seeded team.
Right.
Super strange, very strange. I'm interested to see how it's going to play out. I'll give it 1 season to fully judge it and give my opinion. But from the beginning, I mean, it's a tough to digest and understand the reasoning behind it. But Michelle and I were talking earlier, and I don't know, I kind of see it being just a money grab, an attention grab. They want higher ratings, more exposure, more excitement.
Yeah.
Making it seem like more like an American style sport, so that maybe you can bridge the gap between newer fans and the MLS, the beautiful game. I can see multiple reasonings why they're doing such things, and the no extra times during during certain rounds of playoffs, I think could be due to they don't want to overextend
The time. Yeah.
and players and teams getting super washed out. But I mean, you're still playing a best of 3 series, so potentially 3 games compared to another team who played maybe 2. I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was listening before we came. Actually, I was trying to just learn a little more about it, and then I think as we go more, we get in the season, we're gonna understand more once teams are playing and they're placed. But I was listening to ESPN, Mauricio Pedrosa and Hercules Gomez, but in English. And they were just talking about, at the end of the day, it's Apple TV's deal. How much saying do they have for this to happen? Because they put in a good amount of money, so they want to make some of that money back.
Exactly.
Basically.
That's the thing. That
Yeah.
you want to make money off of a big investment. So what better way to make money than more games and more excitement and more chances at coming back?
And then Michelle, you have something that Gary Neville says and mentioned, and then it's just one of those that coming from someone that comes from Europe and they've competed in higher level,
Right.
Game. What did he say?
Well, it's just with the timeline. And before I dive into that, I want to highlight what MLS Buzz said. I don't know if you guys follow this page on Twitter, but basically kind of criticizing, the new playoff format and Leagues Cup. Basically, any MLS club in CCL could play over 60 matches in 2023, which is this year. Yet the league still only allows 20 senior salary cap players. MLS has allowed for deeper rosters, or they're saying MLS has to allow, for deeper rosters or the quality late in the season. If not, they will suffer more. So, I mean, they're basically saying like, they need to expand the roster and double the salary cap if this is going to even work. Because, yeah, I mean, it is true. Like, for example, Austin FC is participating, obviously in MLS, regular season, Open Cup, Leagues Cup, and
Conca Champions.
Conca Champions.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's interesting. And so Ethan Finley, actually, let's not forget about him. By the way, he may have some minutes this season. Obviously, maybe this weekend. He liked that and he agreed. So I think it's unfair.
Yeah, you got to have a lot more players coming out and because they're the ones competing. So
Right.
at the end of the day, it's like you also the people that are actually working, they have to have a saying. And what makes it a little more critical is just when it was announced and how it was announced.
Yes.
That's what makes it like you're doing it right before the season begins.
Right, and I think that's kind of where now we can like dive into Phil Neville and the coach of Inter Miami, played for Manchester United, big star, right? And basically over the weekend, the athletic writers Felipe Cardenas and Paul Tenorio. I'm saying that is
Tenorio.
I'm saying like that it's Spanish, but I think it's not like that. I don't think it's pronounced like that. Anyways, over the weekend, I guess they had a Q&A conversation. They spoke about many topics, and I kind of skimmed through it. But today, Inter Miami had a media availability event and they were denied the access, and they tweeted out saying, and I quote, they disagreed with the timing and framing of the coverage over the weekend, which during that Q&A, the writers asked the head coach, hey, what do you think about this timeline? Like, the league hasn't even released the playoff format, and he criticized the league and said it was a poor, from the league to do this a week before the start of the season. And it comes to show the importance of journalism. Like, I know sometimes there's different types of journalism, right? There's the investigative, there's, the feature writers. But it goes without saying, like, out of all the Q&A, because they spoke about Messi, they spoke about different things. They spoke about Martinez, coming over. And out of all that, they kind of pinpoint and they didn't like a certain thing. And so they denied the access to these writers, right? They're very known in the soccer community. And that just comes to show you the importance of not always, taking the side of the club, not necessarily, being like, hooray, like, do you see, stuff like that. Because I know that can sometimes, highlight the club and you have a face and it's so positive and it's so like, but it is important for journalists to ask these tough questions. And I think it was fair because if the league hadn't put out the playoff format, then, like, for example, today we're all kind of trying to figure out how the playoff is going to work. Literally,
right.
5 days away from the kickoff. So I just thought that that was super interesting and ironic and hilarious about how the PR, because at the end of the day, is PR who handles the access to those types of events.
Yeah, I think you have to let the media ask you questions. Yeah. Because the only gut check you're going to get is from the media. People outside of your organization, not the people that work in there.
Right.
People that work in there are going to agree.
Right.
Even when they don't agree in person, they're going to,
looking at things critically, asking those important questions, and maybe the team didn't like your writing or whatever. Let's say Inter Miami decided to, like what they did, they didn't give access to this media outlet. By silencing them, you only amplify their message.
Right.
You make it worse. Like, you make it worse. You don't. And that's and say, for example, in a country where everything is freedom of speech, banning someone from entering in a facility when they're media, it is just, it makes the team less credible, in my opinion, when it comes up to who can actually ask the questions.
Right.
Because you don't want to be. I mean, in even like in Europe and Mexico and Latin America, the media, like in Mexico, for example, they don't allow people to go into the like, say, anyone that's not part of the company that holds the rights of the media. They don't really get a chance to cover the team as much.
Yep.
So you always gonna have them bashing on Mexico, part of it because of that reason.
Right.
So you don't, like, say, and this also goes with, professionalism from the people that work and ask questions and cover it. But at the end of the day, is you have to allow the people to come and ask the questions.
Right.
Because the ones that transfer the communication from the up there to the people are communication.
Right. And that's the thing. It was the coach who said that. So they just asked one simple question, like,
Yeah.
what do you think about the playoff format coming out a week before the start of the season?
No,
And the coach said,
I'm sure the coach
"That's
got
stupid. Like,
I'm
we
sure-
don't do that in Europe."
And I hope
Yeah.
someone from media, if anyone listening to this, they can ask that question to Josh on like this week or Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think
Because we
after
gotta
this,
get everyone's point of view.
Everyone's gonna
Like the
get
players, they have to have a saying too, and you can't just let corporate world, man, like dictate how they're gonna play. Where if you want this many amount of games, you have to be more flexible with the DP, the salary cap, and having like be more flexible with all the rules that you have when it comes up to the players and how they get acquired, who gets acquired. Because then you're gonna have a bunch of games with. I mean, not to say there's something bad about players that don't play well. We're gonna have a lot of games con los quiénes son esos güeyes.
Right.
Who are they? With all due respect, but it's just more. If you want the team to grow and be that team the league to be the top league in the world, you have to be able to take a criticism.
Yeah, and I think we were just thinking about the insanity of playing 60 games in a calendar year. It's a lot, man, and
Yeah.
with that comes less quality of games, more injuries, and just
The injury part is
Yeah.
one part that I'm
That's a
more,
huge one.
Mhm.
Well, for the players, obviously. But yeah, I mean, and see, the reason this became a big deal and it started trending on Twitter is because, these guys are a national outlet. So obviously national news gets a lot of the attention rather than local. And not to say that any local Miami reporters weren't probably asking the same questions, but I just think that's the difference between the coverage. Like a lot of the times, local media want to cover the local angle, and the national it's more of a broad of the league or whatever. But I just didn't see the reasoning behind not giving these guys access to today's availability. I mean, it was a fair question. They themselves didn't answer for him. They just wrote what head coach said.
Yeah.
And it is dumb, and the league didn't like it, or the club the club didn't like it. So it just puts them in a bad spot. But I just think what they did, like you said, amplified the situation,
and it created a conversation like this that is happening everywhere right now.
And the thing is, we try to be as cordial and as unbiased in certain aspects. But we always want to be respectful. But there's people out there that are not going to be respectful.
right?
And they're going to take this shit and turn it into like a complete mess.
Right.
Bashing the media, bashing, the league. They're going to bash everything around it. And they're going to call it a toy league at the end of the day.
Right.
Una liga de juguete.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
pónganse las pilas, compadre.
Literally what I was thinking. I was like, man, no one would get banned in Mexico for asking these types of questions. It would be the opposit. Even
Someone will get a raise.
So it would be like, they would make like a little quick headline and it'd be done. Because it's not a big deal, but they made it into a big deal. But yeah, I thought that was super interesting of them, and you got to respect journalists, and I guess that's just the moral of the story.
The molar of the story.
Wow, I can't talk.
Hey, it happens. Now, let's change it up a bit, and and go into the European part.
Yeah, Liverpool, my guy, the new Liverpool guy.
Hombre.
Let's go.
you want to talk about disrespect?
God, you know what? I want to
Round
give
of
it to
16.
Real Madrid. They're the king of champions. As a Barcelona fan, me saying it, that says I have respect for their work.
Right now, you're speaking as a Liverpool fan.
But as a Liverpool fan, I'm sad.
You got smacked.
Like we started like 2-0, almost back-to-back goals. Y now ya
At home,
y luego de repente.
first leg, Liverpool versus Real Madrid, up 2-0. Hey, your
damn.
boy Nunez scored an amazing
He
golazo.
was looking, he's been having a rough patch and he seemed to be coming back. Pero vino Vinicius, vino Benzema, y dijeron, no,
Yeah.
hold it
Yeah.
right there. God damn, man, this
Was
hurt.
he? Yeah. Nunez, he's a good player, but
Yeah.
I think in my opinion, he's still super young and he's still learning.
He's still developing
True.
for sure, but it's great to see him with a little bit more confidence.
For sure.
And then on the 2-0 goal by Salah, a crazy mistake by a world-class goalkeeper, Courtois,
Yeah,
coming off his knee, and Salah just getting that little poke. Up 2-0, looking at home at Anfield, everything looked great, but Madrid had other plans. Madrid, when they're down,
it's like
Yeah.
that's when they're up.
it's like they're up. Yeah.
Well, like
especially
in the Champions League. What club said is like the that was the one word that I had of Real Madrid. It's just the way they are, like just their blood is
Yeah.
you. Not until the whistle blows and the game is over, you can't count them out. Until then,
Yeah.
they're gonna have a fighting chance.
Vinicius looked over and he saw Ancelotti raise his eyebrow, and then he scored that 2-1.
Which Ancelotti, you shared a pretty cool a note from Chucky Lozano about it.
yeah?
Yeah,
A ver.
yeah. So
see
in the Players Tribune media space, Chucky Lozano spoke a little bit about his experiences with Ancelotti. Ancelotti was actually covering the World Cup, where Chucky Lozano had his like breakout international game against Germany, where he scored that golazo
Yeah.
when we were not expected to beat Germany in the group phases.
Yes.
I was.
Ancelotti reached out to Chucky. He said, "I want you to play with me at Napoli," which he was at Napoli at the time. And he kind of kept in touch with them. And we all know Chucky has struggled with injuries. And Ancelotti, being the type of don that he is, he reaches out to Chucky, making sure he's okay and making sure he's fine. And when he finally brings him out to Napoli to join the squad, he invited his whole family to dinner in Italy. But Ancelotti didn't just show up himself. He brought his whole family
Oh,
with his grandchildren and
I
his
love
wife.
that.
And that actually meant a lot to Chucky Lozano because he spoke about how difficult it is for like himself as a Mexican player going to a different country and adapting.
Yeah.
But when your manager takes that extra gesture and care, not just throughout your injury, but when you get there to receive you and welcome you into his family, that's the real
Right.
deal. And
Yeah.
that those types of things are key for young players taking the leap to a different type of league. So
Yeah.
I just shared that anécdota with
It was
with
right
Richie.
after the game.
Yeah.
Which and that's like, say for example, someone like Ancelotti, he's a Real Madrid coach. I mean, he beat the
I
shit
love
out of
him.
my team, and then with Barcelona we struggle with him. But man, like that guy is just a class of una clase de señor. Es un
Sí.
pan de Dios. It's,
Yeah.
you wish you could have that type of coach, more often
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah.
Right. And you talk about him inviting Chucky, over or whatever they got together. But it means a lot because, for example, if I invite you over or invite Richie over to come to a family gathering, you're going to meet my cousins. You're going to meet my little cousins, their cousins, my grandma. You're going to meet everyone.
yeah.
My brothers, my mom, my tia. So it's like having that familiarity, and especially with someone so high like Ancelotti.
Yeah.
Like, you're
There's-
Chucky Lozano, but this is Ancelotti.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many stories like that about Ancelotti, and that's why his players, his teams respect him and
Right.
play the way they do for him.
Yeah.
So,
it's amazing.
Yeah, man, just going back to the game, dude, total collapse by Liverpool in my opinion.
Yes.
The midfield looked tired. The defense was
I look tired.
the defense was was unlucky, but they were also poor. and they got outworked by
Love that.
Camavinga, Modric, Benzema, Vinicius Jr. And it's crazy because like you look at Liverpool and you're like, you think that they're getting too old, that they need a reset. But then you look at Real Madrid, you have Modric, who's 30. What is he? 37.
But he had such a great. He was the most underrated player in the World Cup.
Yes.
Yeah.
My opinion.
And in this game, he led the one of the counterattacks, like he just ran through that midfield, dude.
But that shows cuando te cuidas, you know.
Yeah. Benzema too, getting his
Benzema.
two first goals of the Champions League of this Champions League season. So
Today.
today.
Benzema. What time, you know.
I love Benzema. And he had such a
El gato.
I watch these TikToks and they're like the Playboy life of Karim Benzema, and it just talks about like how he like brings his wife or both ex-wife and his wife
they all come to his game.
And I'm just like,
He did
wow.
Neymar going to his ex-wife's or his ex-girlfriend's wedding.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
that
was a weird one. I wouldn't do that.
You want to do that?
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
It's
thought it was
weird.
so baller. But anyways, I mean, he is a baller.
Yeah, true.
Even though I thought his days were over, but no,
Nah,
it seems like
I think they're gonna be playing till maybe 41.
yeah.
So now Liverpool has to go to Madrid to overcome this 2-5 deficit.
Yep.
And if you remember at the end of the last Champions League, they asked Klopp what he thought about the next Champions League season, and he said, "Where is it? Istanbul. Book your tickets. We'll be there." So he's got to back up his words now.
I've learned to understand. I've learned to accept the fact that for me, I suffer in European competitions around this time of the year. So I've learned to embrace it. I've grown a thick skin. I don't cry anymore. You know, I just learned to be like, hey, a pasar lo peor, for example.
Sucks
Yeah,
to suck.
dude. And speaking of Chucky Lozano, man, he had a freaking game, bro.
Yeah.
He killed it in his round of 16 against Eintracht Frankfurt in Deutsche Bank Park in Germany.
Perfect.
Close enough.
Wow.
Koke.
Napoli is a joy to watch.
Tenerife.
I don't know if you've seen him play
I
as of
haven't.
late.
Not
But-
as of late. I haven't.
But holy shit, man. Right now they're playing
too.
an amazing type of football, very fast paced, high press. Everybody is just clicking on all cylinders. And Chucky, his press was amazing, his pace, his passing. He got man of the match honors for this Champions League game. He had, I think, 2 assists. I think one of them was offside, but he had a shot off the bar. But dude, especially the second goal, there was like 7. It was like a play with 7 touches, including a flick into the box and a back heel and a one-time finish by Di Lorenzo. I really enjoyed that game. The only thing I have to say about Napoli is like they haven't been tested, so I'm interested to see them play Real Madrid or whoever.
That's the one thing. The
whoever they
test
got.
is Real Madrid. No matter how much they do, Real Madrid is the test.
Yeah, but that was it was an exciting round of Champions League, and I'm just happy it's this time of year right now. So,
And then just in the Europa League, Barca's gonna play Man U.
okay, let's rewind a little bit, bro. My Man United, they're on fire.
Against your Barcelona.
Against my Barcelona. I got a heart divided, but right now I'm right in the high of Man U, man.
He's Reds.
I'm red. I'm red in the face right now. Man U got me blushing.
Mira, qué chulo.
They played Leicester City this weekend and started off kind of shitty. They like the first 20 minutes were shaky, but I've criticized him a lot, De Gea, but he really pulled through this game.
Yeah.
He had 2 amazing saves in the first 20 minutes. And then in minute 24, Bruno Fernandes had a beautiful flick, the type of flicks we see El Chaparro do at Bailey's, like the outside of the foot.
Shout out.
Hey, shout out Chaparro.
Chaparro.
Outside, Bruno Fernandes did that outside of the foot flick into space, Rashford incoming. And it's the type of thing that you see it happen and you know Rashford's going to score because of the amazing form he's in.
Yeah.
And he took care of it. He's a walking bucket. That was a minute 24, minute 55, another assist but this time by Fred into another Rashford run and 2 touches, a shot between the legs of the keeper, and this man's on fire. So right now he's got 24 goals, 8 assists, and he scored for his 7th consecutive time in a Premier League fixture. So what more can I say? Is there a better player in Europe right now? I mean, y'all tell me.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm sad, but I'm also happy because Barcelona is first place. 8 points above Real Madrid, second place. That's in La Liga, of course. But the ones that are not happy are Valencia. They lost 6 games in a row, and they're in relegation zone. So,
man, I'm hurting for that city, man. I have I have good friends there.
Yeah.
I've been to games at the Mestalla. I know how it feels like for the Valencian people to watch their team play. Like the whole city stops, and it's just so invested, multi-generational fans. So I'm hurting for them, man. Six losses in a row in a place where that the squad, the club is so important. That's tough. That is tough.
Well, I mean, that team is important for Spain in general. So I'm like,
yeah,
it'll be tough to see them, go relegated. So hopefully they make a comeback. But Barcelona is actually looking better.
They're looking good.
Every game you see them.
They're looking good.
Tough games. It doesn't matter who they play. Están más consolidados, más al tiro.
The Chavineta?
La Chavineta is going.
Yeah.
I would say they still have to, secure La Liga, Like not until that one's done. It's kind of like, you don't want to bet on Real Madrid because Real Madrid can make the comeback.
You look at Arsenal in the Premier League and they had a big cushion too, and that cushion became 3 points, 2 points?
Yeah.
They right now are 59, 51 points. So they're leading with 59 and Real Madrid has 51. Are you sad that Messi may not, or reports from his own father said that he's not going to go back to Barcelona?
At this point, the only thing I could ask of Messi is for him. I just want happiness in his life. He gave Barcelona enough. Yeah. Like he's given them everything. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think he has anything left to prove. So
does he come to MLS?
I would love to see him can you imagine Messi at Q2?
With Inter? Wearing the little pink?
I would love to see Messi happy in Austin.
I would love to see it.
Buy a house in Leander next to Drusi.
Oh, man.
Is that where he lives?
Yeah.
In Leander?
I think so. From what they tell me, Le Chisme.
Oh, damn, dude.
I thought they lived in the hills.
What a stalker, dude.
Well, I mean, everybody on Twitter puts it out there, so I guess.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
Damn, yeah, I would love to see Messi in MLS. So.
Oh, no. Stay away.
Stay away.
I don't know. I'm just kidding. I feel icky about Georgetown and all that.
Hey, just don't talk about Cedar Park, bro. That's my hood.
Man, Cedar Park especially. There are people from Cedar Park. Cuidado. Hey, make sure you have your wallet on you.
I know.
Son como los del DF.
Okay, I have a funny story. So my friend was talking to this guy on Hinge, and they were getting to know each other.
What's Hinge?
It is a dating app.
Okay.
And
we don't know about it. We don't know about it.
We've been out the game for ages.
Yeah.
I'm not in. I was on the game, but then I felt weird. So,
okay,
anyways.
Hinge is a dating app.
Yes, and so they were getting to know each other, and he was like, so where are you from? And she's like, Austin. And she asked him the same question, like, oh, where are you from? He's like, I'm from a small town. You may have heard of it. It's very small, though. He's like, it's called Georgetown.
Oh,
and I was like, what?
That's a red flag.
I was like, Georgetown is
it's not small.
It's not small. It's like literally right here. And it's like, I don't know, a suburb. I don't know.
Dude,
I just thought that was so funny. I was laughing way too hard. I was like, este güey dice que it's like me saying, I'm from like a small town of like Fergabell. You know what I mean?
You don't live in Pflugerville. You live in Buda.
Right. Exactly.
Got your back.
That's funny, man. Y'all know the app Nextdoor? It's not.
Yeah.
Nextdoor, for those of you who don't know, is not a dating app, but some people take it as a dating app, which is kind of weird.
That is weird.
So your story reminded me of this like Nextdoor thing that popped up in my email because they I don't know what. I keep getting emails about Nextdoor, and I read the little headline, and it's always clickbaity, and it's like young single man living in Cedar Park challenges, and that's one of the things he spoke about. Like, oh yeah, sometimes it's challenging because women think the distance is like too much, and it's just. But sometimes they're a little bit more understanding, and I'm like, dude, this is not a dating app. Why are people talking about dating on Nextdoor?
That's weird. He needs to go to Reddit.
I know, right? But yeah, I mean, Georgetown, small town.
It is far though. If I think about it, like if you tell me you live on Slaughter, I'm gonna be like, ugh.
So
Calla.
from me that I used to live in Houston, it's like nombre de volada, I te caigo. Like I
No.
don't. When it comes to distance for me, I don't mind it. I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll see you there. Which
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know many people down south. So, but if I had friends
Good.
like, hey, we're gonna do something, like I wouldn't mind driving. Like I drive north. Like I don't think it's far. Like
Richie on the road is his natural environment. So like Richie loves being on the
Basically,
road.
yeah.
So Richie's a different type of animal. I grew up in Houston too. Like distances are different, but I feel like if you grew up in Austin or a smaller town
You
than,
have
than
that.
Houston, you have this mentality
Yeah.
where like everything more than 15 or 20 minutes is like the other side of the world. You might as well take a spaceship over there.
Literally, yeah. And you're not lying, because when I got into UT, I was like, oh wait, I'm gonna have to take the bus.
to UT.
I had never taken the bus in my life. Yeah, no, I didn't even know you had to stand on one side in order to go that way, and then the other side in order to go that way. It was like
Mind the
north,
gap.
south. Like,
And then Michelle's over here. "Ah, cabrón,
I was
what's
like,
going
y
on?"
bueno, ¿cuándo va a venir? And I was like, I need to cross the street to go east instead of west or whatever. I don't know. It was just, yes,
The most frequented bus,
Yes.
the e-bus. Yeah,
yes,
remember that?
Yes, the
Nah,
e-bus.
I would never.
And
That's-
talking about like downtown and stuff, I mean, I know Richie wanted to hit it on this point too, but the street racing, the takeover.
Speaking of the streets,
Can we
Oh.
just talking about South Austin, the streets? You know, being from Austin, that was very interesting, huh? And it's so funny how it became so political real quick.
Quema o no quema, ca. Quema o no quema, ca. Si quemó, si quemó.
y quemó,
Y quemó
cabrón.
gacho, güey. Some people got caught on fire, dude.
You know, growing pains in the city. You grow,
Yeah.
you're gonna attract
So-
all kinds.
What was it? Barton Springs and South Lamar experience.
Out of all the places,
I know, right? Experience a street racing phenomenon. I forget what they call it. I think they call it like sidecar, side something.
I don't know.
But it happened between Saturday and Sunday morning.
Saturday night,
which is the evening before the Austin Marathon, the 3 Marathon.
Oh shit! So already a bunch of logistical
The
factors
ATX,
happening in the city
yeah,
of Austin,
yeah.
and then you have this illegal street racing where people kind of blocked off a whole intersection.
apparently it was coordinated. I don't know, Richie. Can you tell us more? Because I haven't even.
I was Koke is the one that put it out there.
Oh, you did. Sorry. Okay, Koke, go back to you. So what happened? I haven't even. I worked in news. I checked out. But tell me what happened. So because apparently it was coordinated, and then people were like, "No, it was a coordinated thing," and then that's when it started becoming political.
Well, here's the thing. You know, the car culture in certain communities, especially like the Latino community, is huge,
For sure.
and it can be taken to an extreme. Like people are
Yeah.
really especially trucks and racing street cars and stuff. So like a lot of times it could be a way of cultural expression, like through the history of, you know, all Mexican American Chicano movements, cars. But anytime there's some type of illegal activity or like when you block off a whole intersection, especially like in the city of Austin, it's going to be politicized, whether you like it or not, because you have a liberal city, but you're in a state that is more conservative, that swings red. So yeah, there was statements made by the Austin Police Union kind of talking about budget cuts and staff shortages.
Right. That's how they try to make it very political. And I was like, no.
It's anytime, like that's the thing, when there's an event where it crosses the boundaries of safety and there's like incidents like people catching fire or like crashes.
That was crazy.
That type of stuff, like it's gonna catch the headlines and people are gonna make assumptions and then they're gonna bring up things like budget cuts and like the movement to defund the police and like staff shortages. Like those things are gonna get talked about, but I don't feel like this event kind of is a true indicator of these systemic problems that are happening.
Right.
But it was crazy, man. I did not expect to read about that Sunday morning.
I mean,
Here's the thing.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Richie.
No.
But here are two things. Okay. I grew up in Austin. My brother was into street racing. This is not a new thing. So I don't understand why people are saying this is not Austin. No, my brother was into street racing. Like, it just happened here not too long ago at the Domain as well.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day when my brother used to do that, Austin wasn't the population it is now.
Yeah.
So they would do it like on North Lamar, but they would do it at the parking lot of, I don't know, the movie theater or something where they had show cars or whatever. Sometimes they do it at Coda, but I don't know what happened. Apparently these people weren't from Austin and they came here and then just shut that. Whatever they did, that wasn't right, because this is true. An officer did get injured, and when you are putting the life of someone, yourself or someone else's, that's not okay.
Yeah.
That's against the law, right? You can't do that. But for people to say, oh, this is not Austin, see, this is what happens when you defund the police. Working in news, I know because Joseph Chacon, APD's head chief, has said in the last months, ever since last year, that they've just had such a hard time getting new police officers into their cadet classes because of the pay, because after the Black movement, but not just locally. I mean, the Black Lives Matter movement happened national.
Yeah.
And then this defund the police, but then they got all these funds, but they still couldn't get someone. It's because people don't want to work in that type of environment anymore. Yeah. They don't want to put their life at risk. It was a thing that was respected, and it isn't now. And
it's also stigmatized because they lean towards another side.
Right.
They lean more right than left.
Right. And I respect the police officers. Without them, but I also understand that there's, within the community, if I call 911, my call may not get answered because I live in a certain area code rather than another one, especially with the lack of police officers or the lack of, I don't know. It's a deeper issue.
Yeah.
But
there was criticism on the response, on it taking quite a while to get anything under control, and things not really being in control regardless. But
this narrative of this has never happened in Austin. Shut up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I love my Austin people, right? And I love when people have passion for the city, but
oh my God, Richie!
What the hell happened?
Hop Squad broke your.
Is your laptop okay?
My laptop, yeah, but it broke.
Oh shit!
Oh, sorry.
Bro.
All right, hold on. Pause. Holy shit!
And we'll be back.
Somebody also Casino El Camino.
Casino
as
El Camino.
burger. They treat you like shit, but they'll give you a good burger.
So, going back to how people, sometimes they just want to, for example, stuff like this. You always want to blame it on the person that comes in, and then for me, it comes from a different place or whatever. But we've had guests here talk about lowriders in Austin for years in the east side.
Right.
And South Austin as well. So this type of stuff, I've seen this meetings happen during the pandemic. The only way people could hang out outside was just during the meetings. Luckily, nothing happened. But apparently this one right here got out of hand. At the end of the day, you have to be responsible when you have this type of meetings.
Yeah.
You can do, your racing or whatever. You're responsible, coordinate with the police. It's always it always comes to creating spaces where people can express themselves. And when you do something like this, where you coordinate with the police, hey, boom, this is going to happen. Can we get this blocked? 2 hours, whatever. Then you for sure going to help hold all the clubs accountable, in a meetup. And I would just go hey, you know what? This shit's going to happen. The police are cool. The police are going to be around. And the whole, defunding the police thing or whatnot, it's just, no. It's you can't blame a particular incident on the whole not budget cuts in the police. You can't. This is a sociology type of thing. This is something that, you have to create the spaces, and then
Yeah. But earlier, Michelle was talking about media in the sense of local journalism versus like state journalism. But you can also take away from that. Like, so we had different opinions getting thrown around on Twitter. We had local opinions, and then we had kind of like these more regional opinions, such as Dan Patrick, Lieutenant Governor, saying this is the result of voters electing leftist anti-police Mayor Adler, and no longer is Austin safe. You know, like he doesn't even he probably doesn't even live here, dude.
Yeah, he lives in, I don't know, somewhere else, not here.
Like,
But even then, like
probably Georgetown.
Austin, probably. But even then, Austin is growing, so obviously crime is going to go up.
You're gonna it's a growing city.
These types of things are gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right. We're not Chicago, but we are growing. We're not Houston, but we're getting there with the population. Yeah. So when you bring more people in, that means more crime, more anything. But this is not. Yeah. That narrative is.
And that turns into like even the politicians on the left, when they create something like this out of politics, it's just an incident that happened in general.
Right.
There's no right or left. It's just that happened.
Right.
What can you do to fix it? It always comes to like, okay, how can you make this right if it's wrong? If it doesn't need to be fixed, then don't fix it. But if it needs fixed, what is it? And it's just like, hey, make sure the police are taken care of, but also make sure the people can express themselves.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
But they did. I will say, they crossed the line for sure when they started throwing like fireworks
bottles,
at them and bottles hitting the car like that. Come on, man.
100% against that. And that's
too crazy.
And I think for me, as if you have some type of membership tracker, you would have know who's doing that shit, automatically. That's just it goes along with, like, say, the supporter culture here. You're gonna have people that really just want to go there, chant, and support the team. Or you're gonna have dumbasses that want to go do a fun thing and steal trumpets or stuff from people. So
but the thing is, those small situations where people cross the line and do something stupid, that paints the picture of an organization to some people.
Exactly.
The people who are ignorant,
the
outsiders who don't know the intricacies of that community.
And it paints like, say, for example, now everybody thinks Houston Dynamo people are the same as this particular guy. No, there's some awesome people in Houston that I know that they're not like this type of person right here. Same goes in LA. Yeah. When someone steals a trumpet, not everybody in LA is dumb. It's just this one dumbass that decided to steal a trumpet. So we can't just generalize everyone on one incident.
Yeah.
Pero como dice Iván La Mole, pónganse vergas.
For sure. So, yeah, that was a crazy incident. But on that note, I guess everyone stay safe and have fun this weekend.
Yeah,
Tickets.
dude, enjoy this beautiful weekend. Hopefully we get some nice weather as we've been having.
And some affordable tickets.
Yeah. They're, the high demand. But then by game 3, they're going to be back in, normality. But
no, I miss year 1 of tickets. Right now, the highest ticket is $113, but season 1 of Austin FC, they were like $20.
What's the lowest ticket right now?
$113.
Oh, I thought you said that was the highest.
I'm sorry, the lowest.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
Okay, Michelle.
I'm like, that's pretty good.
Sometimes I talk and I don't know what I'm saying. Nah. Yeah, sorry. That was the lowest priced. The highest price, let me tell you, though.
Oh, nah, man.
Is it right next to? I wanted to be in the locker room, right? And see them.
He wants to smell Drusi's calzones.
140. I want to. Yeah, no, I don't even want to touch the grass. I've touched it already.
Yeah, I already did. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little over $1,000.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait for this Saturday. I plan to take the train from Cedar Park and document my way there.
Small town Cedar Park.
Little small town. You might have never heard of it.
It's called Cedar Park.
That's Cedar Park, that Lake Line Station.
What a pickup line, huh?
Lake Line Station, baby.
The Lake Line Station, Ahí va a estar el Koke con sus compadres.
Yes, sir.
Hey, if you guys see us around, shout out. Say hi.
Salúdenos.
Hey, don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger. And it's gonna be your first game as a Los Verdes member.
Oh hell yeah, dude! So, I got all my swag. It finally came in the mail. Oh my gosh, dude! My wife already stole my water bottle because she loves stealing my water bottle. So I mean,
Shout out.
I'm glad
to
someone's
her.
using it. Thank you, babe. Thank you. Dude, I'm excited to take the scarf, to,
Yeah.
be fully geared out, have some stickers ready to. Let's do it.
Bueno, se cuidan, se porta bien.
Like, subscribe, share, all the things. Thank you, Hop Squad, again. We had a little incident, but
Hey, it
things
happens.
happen.
That shit is fire.
When you're doing it live, it happens.
It
Sí, quema
happens.
ca.
Bye.
Adios.